Hey everybody, David Essel here today to talk about something that's in the news big time, and it has to do with Lindsay Lohan and the whole circus that surrounds her going into recovery, and also the circus that surrounds us as being a part of the circus. And I hope today that maybe we can discuss this from a different perspective than what you're seeing in a lot of media and news sources, from maybe even a healthy and a healing perspective. As many of you know, for the past 20 years I've been involved as an addiction recovery coach and a master life coach and an adjunct professor, speaker, and a whole bunch of different things, author. And in my work with recovery, one of the things I see with people that are struggling with addictions, whether it's to substances or behaviors, is that, and this is true in Lindsay's case, I want to bring this up, is that no one really knows when someone has truly hit their bottom and they're ready to change. I do know this, and this has been talked about, and I think this is the healthy part of what we're going to discuss today, is that because no one knows, no one ever goes into recovery excited about getting sober. You know, I can't speak for Lindsay, but I can speak for everyone else in the world that I've ever worked with in Lindsay's position, including myself, is that in the middle of an addiction or even at the end of an addiction, there's no one that's ever walked into my office, sat down and said, you know what, I'm so excited, I'm ready to give up these drugs or alcohol or whatever it might be. You know, my feelings go out for her because of the course that she's underneath so much pressure in the press. And the other thing is that we are encouraging that pressure through the gossip mills that are running around this country. Now, that's what the media feeds off of. And we, as people who are on this path of personal growth, like you and I, we have a responsibility that I want to talk about here. Now, I don't know if Lindsay's going to recover. I don't know if this is the time that she's going to get it together, because no one knows that. You know, no one can say that they're excited about going into jail. No one can say when they come out of jail that they're excited about going into a recovery program until it hits them. It's almost like there's a transition in all of our lives who are in recovery, myself included. There comes a day, a transition period, where from out of the blue for most of us, all of a sudden it dawns on us that it's time. It's time to listen to someone else. It's time to get serious. It's time to do what we're told in regards to recovery. And until we have a long length of sobriety underneath our belt, that we continue to do what we're told. And that's what my program teaches people that want to get sober. That's what all the programs around the country teach. Lindsay's in a very difficult situation right now because she's young, first of all. She's already gone through multiple stabs at rehab. It doesn't matter for how long, how many days, or how many hours, or how many minutes. She's tried to get clean multiple times. And now the pressure's on. The pressure's on even more so. Now, for some people in this position, it's perfect. That pressure of the press, of the judge, and of everything else is ideal for someone to get sober. But we don't know if she's in that position or not. Now, the other reason for doing this video here today is to ask ourselves, are we actually working towards the greater good in regards to Lindsay's health and our own health, or are we slip sliding backwards? And when I say that, is that, you know, gossip is an amazing addiction. And I had a friend last night who also is in recovery, working the program and as a recovery therapist as well. And he called me up and he said, you know, he goes, I know you don't watch the news, which I don't, but he said, flip it on and watch this channel, and they're having this discussion about the chances of Lindsay's success in rehabilitation. And I started to watch it, and I felt even bad for the people doing the interviews, because no one knows. And you know, when someone says, well, by the look on her face or the smirk in the courtroom, there's no way she's ready for recovery, we don't know that, you know, because of the very fact I said before. No one has ever walked in 20 years and sat down and said, I am so fired up to get sober. As a matter of fact, I usually guess people are about 15 to 20% ready to get clean when they come into someone like my office. You know, if you're going to work with someone who's a recovery coach or recovery therapist, addiction counselor, addiction therapist, is that most of the time people are about 20% ready. That means 80% of them would still much rather have the option of drinking or doing the drug or behavior or whatever it is that's gotten them in trouble with their addiction. But we can become addicted to the gossip. So I'm going to make this short today. I want you to do a check-in. Anything that you're saying about Lindsay and her recovery that is derogatory, any comments you're making about, you know, what she's done, what she's doing in jail, how she's getting out easy by not having to spend the full amount of time there, whatever it might be, whatever you're a part of the discussion, that's an addiction that can take you down. So let's rise up today and let's make a decision from this moment forward that if anyone's making a comment about Lindsay or anyone else in recovery or anyone else that's struggling as a celebrity in the news, is to back away from the conversation. In our work, we call it disengagement. Disengage. In other words, don't respond. Change the subject. Do whatever you have to do. But that will prove that you're conscious in your evolution, in your awakening. Every time you slip and you go back towards the conversation that is derogatory about anyone in this world, especially when it comes to someone you can easily take pot shots at that's in the news, you are actually moving backwards in your own evolvement and your own awakening in life. Let's make a decision to go in the other direction, okay? So join me with it. So I'm David Essel, of course. If you want more information on my work, go to talkdavid.com. These YouTube videos that we do, we send them out on a regular basis. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Go ahead, and then that means every time we send one out, it'll go right to your email box. And then the last thing I want to say is that take this video that you're watching right now, and if you understand it and if you grasp the concept, go ahead and share it with your friends. The more people we can get on board to stop the gossip and to understand the reality of addiction and recovery, the better off the world will be. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.